very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch, a show that gives you all the latest news and updates from the digital ecosystem. I'm Priya Sheth. Hope you all had a good midweek break. Time now to get you all the top stories that we've been tracking today. First up, we have Zoho founder Sridhar Vembu, who has been awarded India's fourth highest civilian honor, the Padma Shri, conferred in the category of trade and industry. Sridhar Vembu has got the distinction of creating a unicorn without the aid of any external funding. Moving on to the second headline of the day, a few days after the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology issued a notice extending the ban on Chinese apps like TikTok, ShareIt and WeChat, reports suggest that these Chinese apps are weighing legal options of challenging this order in the court of law. As of now, India has banned a total of 266 Chinese apps, citing threat to national security. Well, Interactive Corp's video software platform Vimeo has raised $300 million in equity from funds ahead of its planned spin-off into a separately traded company in the second quarter of 2021. This funding will happen in two tranches. The fresh financing will be used to accelerate investments in growth, innovation as well as talent. Well, moving on to the final headline of the day in global news, social media platform Twitter has acquired newsletter publishing platform Revu for an undisclosed amount. This as it looks to foray into long format content and subscription oriented products.
Well, moving on to our second segment, we have with us somebody who has really made waves in 2021, being categorized as the first unicorn of 2021. I have with me Mr. Vijay Kumar from Digit Insurance. Thank you very much for joining us today. I wanted to understand from your perspective how the last year has been for Digit Insurance, because I have seen the kind of adoption that the insurance space has been seeing over the last year.
Thank you, Priya. I think, as you know, the last year has been a challenge for most of the industry sectors, and particularly for insurance also. But if I compare with the auto sector and many other sectors, I would say insurance industry performed much better than the other sectors. Even though the growth has been flat, but there has not been very, very significant loss. And compared to that, our industry, Go Digit actually did even better. We could manage that thanks to our enablement that happened long back when we started our company, the tech, the reliance on tech, and the contactless transactions, whether policy issuance side or maybe the claim side, I think. So those were the preparedness actually, which helped us a lot, during this COVID period. So at the end of the day, I think it is again how you look at it. I think what matters is how to what extent one can explore the opportunities, new avenues, and prepare some kind of enablers to achieve those.
If I may ask you, over the last couple of months, and I know that the insurance industry at large has been facing tough times because people at this point in time were not going out, were not traveling. So, there were sectors or pockets where the insurance industry did see a hit. So what would you attribute as your top areas where you did see traction, considering you're in the non-life space?
Yeah, so I think, as I mentioned, there are opportunities available always. It depends on how you look at it. So for us, the motor was down. The auto industry was degrowing significantly at the rate of 60-70%, and then we thought of certain other avenues where we developed some COVID related product, and initially there was a simple product to the IRDA, the sandbox they are provided. Through that, I think we launched one product, and then seeing the success, we launched a couple of more products. It is obviously very challenging, during this time, launching a product, how do we price it? How do we put the system in place? So there are a lot of challenges. So thanks to the technology backup that we had already, so it was easy for us to do that, and that to some extent also kept us floating on this. So as a result, we have been consistently growing throughout the period, and today we are at around 35, 36% YTD. So I think looking at innovatively new products and then providing enablement actually in terms of systems and process, I think that is what matters a lot.
Well, clearly, innovation and technology have been your biggest strengths, but if you could highlight what were the other factors that contributed to your success over the last couple of months?
Yeah, in both, Priya. First of all, on the policy issues front, I think the efficiency matters a lot to everybody, even to the partners. A small agent actually, if he has to, do a lot of work on Excel sheet, maintain data on Excel sheet, and do all sort of manual transactions, pick up cover notes and then get the policy issued, run around the company office. I think those are also challenges, and so which in our case actually we provided that enablement, and with our contactless policy issuance module, it was easy for the agents actually. They can quote with the quote to the customer with multiple prices, with multiple companies prices. They could convert policies in one stroke from large database. So for agents and partners, I think it was very, very convenient. And the other part, obviously, that you talked is claim settlement, which is very critical because customers have a small database, they have a small customer base, and anything going wrong actually bring them bad reputation and loss of business. So they are particularly very, very, and their relationship with the customer is very strong. So claim is very important to them. So during this time, since we already had experience of settling mobile claims and shop claims, as well as motor claims, remotely without any involvement of surveyors or even garage. So during this period, I think that capability helped us a lot, because obviously during this period there was nobody traveling, and everything was standstill, but we could still settle the claims during this period.
Well, in 2021, early part of the year, you did conduct one round of fundraise. Going forward, if you can give us some examples on how these funds will be utilized and the kind of roadmap going forward in 2021.
Yeah, so now that we have certain experience behind us, and also certain capabilities that we have developed, but still there is a long way to go. Rural, tier 3 market and rural market is the one which we will focus more on in 2020, 21, 22, and going forward. I think there still, as you know, the penetration is very low, not only in motor, but non-motor as well. So I think there's a lot of scope to grow in those markets. And with our the strength that we have, because thanks to technology, I think we should be able to do that much better than many of our competitors.
Well, what are the key opportunities and challenges that you see in the insurance space, considering that awareness as well as adoption of insurance as a product is a little low as far as India as a market is concerned? So if you could help us understand how you distinguish yourself against competition.
Yes, you are very right. I think that is a challenge. That is not a current challenge. That has been a challenge since a long time. How do the customer understand what is written in the policy, what is right for them and what is wrong? So that kind of decision making is always a challenge for ordinary customers. And as our the motto of the company is to make insurance simple. So that has been also a focus area right from beginning, where our marketing team actually develop products, and then all wordings and the entire customer journey, is developed in such a fashion that even the ordinary customer or maybe a layman can understand better.
Well, now that you've raised some funds, is there more requirement as far as overall funding is concerned? And if you could give us some indication on what the kind of cash burn has been so far.
Funding requirement is ongoing, for any growing company, and particularly for a company which is growing at a very fast pace, where the growth rate is very high. I think you obviously need funding to maintain your solvency and the IRDA requirement and the business requirements. So we'll be looking at maybe close to with a new funding, I think maybe 135 or 150 crores, something like we are looking at it. And so as we go forward, I think whenever there is a requirement, probably we should be able to mop up from the market. As far as the utilization is concerned, if you see our solvency ratio is neither it is too high nor it is low, so it is very well managed. So which clearly indicate that the capital has been utilized very, very efficiently. Our combined ratios, as you know that we already made some small profit already, and our combined ratio is also fairly good compared to many of our competitors who are there in the industry for last 8 to 10 years. So we are far better than those competitors. And so I think in terms of capital utilization, in terms of offering return on investment to the shareholders, I think so we are able to do fair amount of justice in that way.
Well, I want to end by asking you a final question as far as overall growth is concerned. SME and corporate is two segments that most insurance companies are tapping. Are these the focus areas for you going forward? What do you attribute as the biggest focus areas for Digit Insurance going forward?
Yes. So the first, the immediate, I think, opportunity for any company to grow is obviously on the health side. Even though there is a significant coverage is there, government is also coming out with a lot of schemes, but still there are considerable population which is still not tapped. For example, small time businessmen, shopkeepers, etc. Still they are not so bothered about health insurance. And after this COVID, I think everybody has realized that it is important to have health insurance. So that is one. Second, on the lot of investment is already happening on the infrastructure industry. I think thanks to this present government who is focusing a lot on Make in India, I think we see a lot of opportunity coming up. Because of that, the economy is growing. I think Make in India campaign also heading into right directions. I think a lot of investment is also happening in the manufacturing sectors. So we see a lot of opportunities, in medium and small scale sectors and business. So and plus, as I mentioned, I think the rural area is still untapped, and so we'll be focusing on those opportunities as well.
Well, on that note, many thanks for joining us today on Daily Dispatch. It's a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much. Well, with that, it's a wrap on this very special show. Thank you so much for logging in. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. with all the latest news and updates. Goodbye and see you tomorrow.